Health and fitness requires more than just the physical work. It starts with the work you put in to grow your mind. Welcome to the Mind Gains podcast, where we discuss what it takes mentally to see results physically. I'm your host, Jess. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm so excited that you are here. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear yard work being done in the background because Moss is currently out there mowing the yard, edging, weeding, doing all the things. So if you do hear a little bit of that in the background, I do apologize, but it desperately needs to get done. So he's out there doing his thing. I'm in here recording, and hopefully it does not pick up any of that excess sound in the background. We're going to dive right into today's episode. I will say that I have literally nothing planned for today. Like, I normally will kind of write myself a couple talking points for the episode because, I just think ahead of time of like things that I want to include, things that I want to kind of touch on quickly. But today, honestly, the past couple days, I've felt like I just need to talk about this topic, and I don't even have a plan for it. We're just going to talk and see what comes out, and I'm just going to kind of get some things off of my chest here and off of my mind. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to name this episode. I usually have everything planned out ahead of time, and I don't even know what I'm going to call this episode. Again, we're just kind of winging it today, so hope that's okay. But getting right on into this, I think we need to talk about the fact that we all deserve to be exactly where we are when it comes to health and fitness. And I know that might sound very blunt, and honestly, everything we're talking about today might be a really hard pill to swallow, but I think we just need to acknowledge it, because what I see so many times, and myself included, like, I remember feeling this way, but I want to help other people realize that this is not reality, that this is not the truth behind, how long all of this takes. Like, I want people to have a really decent grasp of what all of this takes, what your goals take, what it actually takes to change your lifestyle, change your body composition, change your mindset, because it's not just easy peasy, like we're gonna put in work for 3 weeks and then expect to see a whole new person staring at ourselves in the mirror. It does not work that way. The amount of conversations I've been having lately of people telling me that they've been working so hard doing X, Y, and Z for, no joke, 2 or 3 weeks, and they're not where they want to be. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous for any of us to think that we're going to do a little bit of hard work for a very short period of time and see a world of a difference. Honestly, see any physical difference in 2 to 3 weeks. That is no time at all. I can pretty much guarantee you, if you're starting day one, you're not going to get 14 to 21 days in and look like a whole new person and see any physical changes, unless you are doing something very drastic, very unhealthy, very unsustainable. You're not going to really look that different. You're going to notice more habit changes and changes in how you're feeling and, mentally, physically, like how you're responding to things. Those are the changes you're going to see during that time frame. You're not going to have a 6-pack abs when you needed to lose 40 pounds in the first place. You know what I mean? I don't think it's necessarily our fault when it comes to that. I think it's the fact that it's, the world that we live in, that we are just handed everything the second we want it. I mean, think about the fact that we can order pretty much anything we want on Amazon, on anywhere online, honestly, and get whatever we were wanting delivered straight to our door within 1 to 2 days. I mean, we don't have to wait for anything. There's very few things that I think in this world that we currently live in that we have to put in consistent hard work day in, day out for an extended period of time with zero return on investment and wait patiently for the results that we so badly want. It's not even necessarily initially our fault when we are just conditioned in a world to receive things immediately. And of course, we want things immediately, but it is on you to change your mindset around it, because that's not how health and fitness works. That is not how any piece of this works. You are not going to do bare minimum effort for a short period of time and see phenomenal results, if any. And the thing that gets me is that people will try to sit here and argue that they have been putting in hard work and they have been doing it for 3+ months and they're still not seeing results behind it. But I really hate to tell you, you are exactly where you are because of the choices and the actions that you have or have not made up until this point. You deserve to be exactly where you are when it comes to health and fitness. I'm not talking about anything outside of that. I'm not, we're not talking about career wise. We're not talking about anything else except how you look, how you feel, where your health is at for the average person. Of course, as with everything else I talk about here, there's always going to be extenuating circumstances. There's always going to be that 1% population that genuinely has chronic health conditions from the day they were born, from a very young age, that yes, they have it harder, absolutely. But we live in a world where everyone just likes to automatically assume and make themselves a victim and take on that characteristic and use it as a reason as to why we are not where we want to be because we're a victim. It's too hard. We have this underlying condition. We have this ailment. We have this setback and this challenge. It's bullcrap. Most of the time, 99.99999% of the time, it's bullcrap. For the average healthy person, you are exactly where you are currently. You look the way you look, you feel the way you feel. Your health is where it currently is because of what you have or have not done up until this point. And I'm not saying that, maybe you have really been changing your life around the past few months. Maybe you are genuinely doing things the correct way. You're doing it in a healthy way. You're doing it in a sustainable way. And obviously you haven't reached your end game goal that you're after. But that's because you just simply have not been doing the things that are necessary to get there long enough. Hence, you still deserve to be right where you are. Maybe you have seen improvements. Maybe you're sleeping better at night. Maybe you're managing stress better. Maybe your relationship with food is completely healed where you used to be binging and restricting every single weekend. Maybe your energy levels have improved significantly. You can still see those markers of progress during that time. And if you are seeing any of those and you have been putting in really hard work for the past 3, 4, 5 months, it's because of the work that you have been putting in consistently, and you deserve that progress. You deserve to be there. But 3, 4, 5 months of hard work does not warrant us losing 50 pounds when for 30 years before this, we have been eating terribly. We have never once stepped foot in the gym or never once cared about healthy habits. Like, you still deserve to be where you currently are. So, hard pill to swallow here. For better or for worse, you deserve to be where you currently are. If you have lost 30 pounds, if you have lost 40, 50 pounds, if you have built muscle mass, if you have healed your relationship with food, you deserve to be there because you have put in the literal blood, sweat, and tears over and over and over and over again for months, years on end. You deserve those results. You worked hard for them, but you don't get to just have those results if you have not put in the time and the work for it. But the problem is that everyone wants to be where the successful people are. They want to be where they wish they were right now when they don't deserve to be there because they haven't done any of that. If they are doing it, they haven't done it long enough. But you get upset and you get discouraged because you're not where you want to be, but you've been doing this for barely any time at all. I'm not saying it's not normal to feel discouraged. We all feel that way when you are working hard and you do have this physical goal that you want to reach so badly. But the problem is that people will see that and see the gap between where they are and where they want to be and allow that discouragement to spiral them and stay stuck and be the reason that, well, I'm never going to get there because it's too hard and I'm too far away and I just can't put in that work, as opposed to it being a motivator to say, yeah, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be, but I'm going to put in the work that it takes to get there because I want it so bad. You have to want it so bad. If you kind of want this, if you kind of want to lose 20 pounds, I promise you're not going to lose 20 pounds. Like, I can put money on that. If you sit there and kind of shrug your shoulders and say, I'd really like to lose 20 pounds, but if I don't do it, then I don't do it, whatever. There is no way you are sustainably and in a healthy way losing 20 pounds and keeping it off for the rest of your life. You have to want it so badly that nothing is going to stop you and nothing is going to get in your way, not even yourself, not even your own laziness when you really don't feel like doing the things that you know you need to that day in order to reach that 20-pound fat loss goal. You have to have that mentality that nothing will stop me. This might sound so like over the top and so ridiculous, so exaggerated. But I mean, if you look at anyone that has been successful in this world, built success for themselves, they didn't just kind of want it and hope that they would get there and, put in the work when like it's easy and it's convenient to, and when you feel like it. And then when you're not feeling like it, you just don't do it. You're not going to make it. The people that have been successful do it anyways, regardless of how they feel, regardless of how freaking difficult it is, regardless of whatever else they have going on that day, they're still going to find a way to get it done. I promise you, if you want something bad enough, you will find a way to get it done. I don't care what comes up. I don't care what your excuse is. You're going to find a way to get it done if you want it badly enough. And if you don't, that's a whole different conversation. But anyone starting this journey that can genuinely reflect internally and think, how badly do I want to get what I'm after? If you want it bad enough, you will not stop when it gets difficult. You will not stop when it looks like literally nothing is changing for months on end, because that is going to happen. You will reach certain parts of all of this where you're doing the same thing day in and day out and day in and day out and day in and day out. And for days, weeks, months on end, it feels like nothing is changing. But that's where most people would give up. Most people would look at that and be like, well, what the heck am I doing this for anyway? Not having that realization that consistency compounded over time is what gets you to the result that you want. Just because it looks like nothing is changing does not mean that you should give up and that you should throw away all of the hard work that you have already put in up until that point. Because guess what? If you do that, you're starting from square one then. And when you inevitably do try to get your life together again and do try to lose the weight and build the muscle, you are starting from ground zero. And now you have to put in all of that work again with zero return on investment. And I just feel so frustrated by this because I see the potential that everyone has to get to where they want to be. And there are lots of people that, even though we have moments of discouragement, even though they have moments of, that doubt creeping in of, am I doing what it takes to get to where I want to be? Is what I'm doing working? And is it going to yield the results that I want? They very quickly take hold of that mindset and say, we're not allowing that, because that is not a uplifting thought. It's very discouraging. And I know if I allow that thought to sink in, it's going to spiral me and then I'm going to quit. They take hold of that and they replace it with a better thought that is uplifting and does allow them to take steps forward. But then there's so many other people that I see that I'm like, I know you can do this, because you want to know how I know you can do this? Because everyone can do this. Everyone has it in them to build discipline. Everyone has it in them. Everyone has it in them. If no one has told you that you are capable of doing this, I promise you, you are capable of doing it. It does not matter if you feel like you have the least amount of discipline in the world, you have the least amount of willpower in the world. I promise you, as long as you want what you're after bad enough, you can do it. Does not matter how much weight you have to lose. It doesn't matter how much weight you have to gain. It doesn't matter how bad your binge restrict cycles are, how bad your relationship with food is. I promise you, you can do it. And I know that people have the capability to do this, but the ones that don't make it are the ones that allow these thought processes in and become a victim to the situation, not understanding that you don't get to just have all the results that you want. You don't get to just reach your goals from just a few months of, even if you are working so hard, if you're doing everything perfectly right, I'm sorry, but if you want to change your entire body composition, there is no way that you're going from 250 pounds to 130 pounds of pure muscle mass in 3 months. And people think that that's like a realistic thing. Not even close. That's going to take years. But that thought should not discourage you. In my opinion, that should be motivating to be like, yeah, it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done. But guess what? At the end of it all, I can look back and say, I'm where I am because I deserve to be where I am, because I have put in so much mental, physical effort day after day, month after month, year after year. Like, I deserve to be here. I wasn't just handed the results. I wasn't just handed the things that I wanted. I deserve to be here. And is Isn't that such a better feeling than just barely working for something and getting it within the snap of your fingers? I know that's what we all want, but you have to change your mindset around it. You have to start viewing it that way. And we cannot be lazy about the things that we want or about, the things that we have to take action on every day. I talk to people all the time that say they want one thing, but then their actions prove differently. Because guess what? They're not showing up and hitting their steps every day. They're not showing up and getting their workout in the way that they need to every day, or working out appropriately, pushing themselves in the gym, working hard in the gym to see any changes. They can sit here and say that they want to lose X amount of weight and change their lifestyle and get healthier all they want. But if you are not putting in the action every single day, every single day, your actions are not proving that. And a lot of times, the excuse that they come up with is that, oh, I had this thing going on. Oh, my brother came into town and we went out to this place and there was just nothing I could do because of this situation. There's always some excuse, but I will say what's even worse is the excuse of, well, I got home late and I was tired, so it was just kind of too much for me to pace around my apartment for 10 minutes to actually hit my step goal for the day. I'm sorry, but if it's too much for you to take 10 minutes out of your day to hit your step goal, you don't want it bad enough. You are more than okay with giving into short-term comfort, whatever sounds good in the moment, whatever's comfortable right now. You are more than okay with giving into that rather than making yourself a little bit uncomfortable to actually keep your promises to yourself, to actually keep the commitments that you've made to yourself, and actually put in the deposit that day to reach the goal that you want. You cannot allow your own laziness and how you feel in that moment, whether you feel like doing the things that you know you need to or not, to be the thing that keeps you from reaching your goals. And then get upset when you put in bare minimum effort, even if it's for 5 years, and not see the results that you want. You're the thing that's stopping you from reaching your goals. You are the thing. Your own laziness is what's getting in the way, and you thinking that you're doing everything that you can, but then being okay with doing the absolute bare minimum. And I think sometimes we also don't fully understand when we're being lazy and when we're not, and what our goals actually require of us. But you being lazy, it doesn't necessarily mean that you just never go to the gym, right? Or you just never show up the way that you said you need to. If you're doing that, then you're doing nothing, right? That's not bare minimum. You being lazy is you missing your step goal 1 day a week, every single week, 2 days a week, every single week. You being lazy is you going to the gym, but then giving very little effort and doing less than what you know you need to. You're not challenging yourself there. You're not pushing till failure. You're not giving 110% every time you're in there. You're being lazy when you had a hectic day and you're getting home late, yet you still decide to run through the McDonald's drive-thru rather than just go eat Whole Foods from home. Take 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes out of your night to cook yourself some dang Whole Foods. I don't care if it's just chicken and rice. It could be the blandest thing in the world. It does not matter. If you want it bad enough, if you want your goals bad enough, you're going to do it. And if you're not, if you being tired from the day is enough to stop you from reaching that, it is enough to stop you from, again, just showing up the way that you know you need to, you're being lazy and you don't deserve to reach your goals. So I know that sounds like it's really harsh, and I know it sounds like I'm like yelling. Honestly, I'm frustrated, but I'm frustrated because people stop themselves. They stop themselves from being the person that they say they want to be so badly. And it is honestly, it's right there. You just have to show up the way you know you need to. You just have to keep showing up regardless of whether you feel like it or not, regardless of whether it's convenient or not, regardless of how long it's taking. You just have to do it. There is no magic pill. There is no magical solution of, I don't feel motivated. What do I do to help that so I can feel motivated again? Doesn't matter if you feel motivated or not. Go and do it. Like, that's it. I wish there was a better way to say it. I wish there was a less blunt way to say it, but there is no magic pill. There is no shortcut. It is just about, yeah, do I want to do this right now? Maybe not. Do I want what I said I want badly enough? Yeah, so I should go ahead and do the thing even though I don't feel like doing it. That's it. There is no other solution. Just do it. Like, just do it. I think a lot of times we look for things that it's like, well, what's going to help me to feel better about making this decision, even though I really don't feel like going to the gym today? What's going to make me feel more motivated to do that? Nothing. Nothing is going to make you feel more motivated, most likely. So just do it. Plain and simple. Most of the time, you're probably not going to want to do a single piece of this. But I promise you, I promise, if you want it bad enough, I will say it a million times, if you want it bad enough, it does not matter if you want to do it or not. You're just going to do it. You're just going to make it happen, even with a crazy, hectic schedule. And you cannot allow laziness to get in the way of it. You cannot allow your unrealistic expectations of where you would be after 6 months and that you would look like this entirely new person, down 50 pounds, up 10 pounds in muscle mass. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're doing it the right way, you're not on some sort of pill and you're not doing it unrealistically and unsustainably, it's not going to happen. If you want phenomenal results, you have to put in phenomenal adherence and effort and be very intentional with everything you're doing day in and day out, and put it on repeat, and then put your head down and not look for what results you're getting. Just do it over and over again and be okay with the fact that you're not going to get to where you want to be for probably quite a long time. But knowing that if you continue doing it and you continue doing it the right way, you will get there. You're going to get there, but you just have to keep going. I know I sound frustrated. I see the potential in people. I see a lot of potential in people, and I want everyone to understand that they can do this. They absolutely can do it. You're not going to be probably thrilled with your results with only doing it for a few months or 6 months, or honestly, maybe even a year, depending on your starting point and what your goal is. But I know for a fact you can do this. You just have to have a realistic expectation, realistic time frame, and you have to be okay with putting in a lot of hard work with, like I said, basically no reward for a little while. Basically no reward. Just keep doing it. And that's not easy to do. But again, you are capable. You are still capable of showing up and doing it anyways. And I did actually have a couple of scriptures that I wanted to bring up as well, just that kind of tie in with this, just talking about the fact that, I mean, we're not guaranteed easy. We're not guaranteed quick results. We are guaranteed, though, that if you put in hard work, you put in the right hard work for long enough, you will get to where you want to be. You will. Hard work does not lie. So again, whether it's your career, whether it's your financial status, whether it's your health and fitness, whether it's your relationships, whether it's, I don't know, something entirely different, we are not guaranteed quick and easy results from any of it. We're not guaranteed to have quick success with any of it, but we are supposed to put in very hard work to obtain the things that we want. And the couple of scriptures that I thought about were both actually in Proverbs. First one, Proverbs 14:23. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. You can say you want it all you want. You're not going to get anywhere if you are hoping about it, dreaming about it, thinking about it, and not putting it into action every day the way you need to. Proverbs 21:25. The craving of a sluggard will be the death of him because his hands refuse to work. And I actually had to look up what sluggard meant because I did not know, but basically just meaning a lazy person. So the craving of a sluggard, lazy person, will be the death of him because his hands refuse to do the work. When you are lazy, you can want to change your life so bad. You can want to change your health and your fitness so badly. But if you are just lazy, you're never going to get anywhere. Your hands refuse to do the work that it's required to get there. You don't get to just say, well, I want this so badly, so I'm just going to hope and pray that I'm going to reach it one day. But you refuse to put in the work that it takes to get there. You don't deserve that reward. And honestly, that's a big reason that I love health and fitness, is because, again, it does not lie. It does not lie about where you are supposed to be. I have said this like a million times here, but the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that you operate is all because of the actions and the decisions that you make every day, that you have made every day for years and years and years. And you deserve to be nowhere other than where you currently are. So if you're not happy with it, then you have to start making changes, and you have to be okay with doing that long enough to see that change and to reach, whatever point you want to get to. So that's it for today. Again, I know that this was probably not the easiest thing to hear for some people, but to be honest, if you're offended by it and if it was really hard for you to hear, it's probably because this is you. It's probably because I'm calling you out a little bit. And there's no shame in that because, the reason that I talk about these things and the reason that I have no problem dishing out tough love is because I needed tough love. I was so lazy. And to be honest, I fed into a lot of my own bullcrap excuses for quite a while. But the reason that I am currently here where I am today, the reason that I was able to change my lifestyle is because somebody had that tough love with me. So I would not be here today. I would not be where I am today without that. And I know that there are lots of people out there that respond to tough love the same way that I did and that also need that. So that's the reason for all of this. But regardless, whether it's received well or not, I still need to have that conversation. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, this was probably a lot more of me like rambling than normal because again, I had no plan with this. I had no notes. I just felt like this was something I needed to talk about today. But thank you so much for listening as always. I hope you have a great rest of your week and we'll talk next time.